Hey everybody, welcome to another weekly market pulse. Today is Thursday, not Friday. It's April 2nd. And wanted to wish you a happy Easter before I forget. We're going to have a nice long weekend, hopefully. We are transitioning from a red market to a yellow market now. So hopefully this crazy stuff is out of the way. Trump talked last night, and kind of like I thought would happen, the market didn't like what he said because he didn't really say anything. He said, we have the biggest bombs, and nobody has bigger bombs than we do. We have the best bombs. And and the market's like, okay, we knew all this stuff. And so the market went down this morning, but now it's bouncing. So it's showing that there's some strength and people are starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. So let me share some goodies and I'll show you why we've turned yellow in the market. So let's see here. By the way, let's see, Arizona, if you haven't registered, register for Arizona. It's going to be beautiful and a lot of fun. It's a strategy room, and I think there's only a couple tickets left. So um, anyway, that's it. You won't probably hear me talking about this after today. All right, let's see. We are in a market which is trying to bounce a little bit. And this was last week's market. You could see the four red lights, which basically says, don't be trying to buy stuff and pick the bottom. But now you could see we've got two green lights, two red lights, and we are turning yellow. So this is off the bottom a little bit. So we had this little double check, kind of a dreaded H pattern, check the bottom, and now we've got 3 days up off the bottom. So that is constructive for us. We want to be getting our watch lists ready and buying things when things are fertile. You don't want to buy things on weakness. You want to buy them on strength because we could go back down the other side and test. So that's why we're yellow market, which means caution, caution. Don't be buying stuff yet, but you want to buy something, buy a little bit of it, that kind of thing. But look at this lousy chart on the NASDAQ. This has been horrible since January, right? And this is now trying to bounce, filling in gaps, doing a couple constructive things, but still not out of the woods. We need more strength here. Um, Same thing with the S&P 500. Finally bouncing to this one-to-one level that I talked about, the 65.50, and we hit that, and that's kind of where we are, 55, 65.60 today. That's not bad. We need some more strength coming up the right side of this, though. That's what I got to say. Same thing with the Dow. At least the Dow's touching the 200-day moving average. They're all below their 50s, but at least they're trying to make it a little bit higher. This one's above its 200-day moving average, probably because of oil. Although the gold is kind of probably offsetting it a bit, but at least we're trying to get above on the New York Stock Exchange. The VIX was higher today. It's come back down. You could see the trend is lower left to upper right on the VIX. So, will we get a reversion to the mean? Well, that'll happen when the war is over, or we could drop in bombs, or we do whatever. The ETF, I talked about this with my group on Monday, on my mastermind group, and I said, this XLE has got a hockey stick pattern, and I don't like it. And wouldn't you know that was like the top. And I said it's probably going to pull back to this 55 level around the 50-day moving average. It's certainly making a case for that. And if the war is over, if there's a ceasefire, that's going to drop a lot more, I think. So we'll see. Apple, it's to me, Apple is it's weak, but it's on the strong side of weak. A lot of double talk there. Bouncing off the 200-day moving average, coming up the right side of this little repair of this downtrend. It's not as bad as it looks, right? I mean, the high of this was 288. It's at 254. The recent high was 276. It's at 254. It's only 20 points off that recent swing point. And to me, it avoided this 243. So I don't think it's moving down anymore. This is just coming from looking at thousands and thousands of charts over my life. We'll see if it's right or wrong. But I think Apple's not as weak as a lot of people may think. Nvidia, though, to me, is making new lows below this 169 level, 171. It made a new low down to the 166 level. It's trying to bounce off that. I don't think you touch Nvidia until it shows some more strength. Tesla, don't touch this one. There's no reason for this stock to go up. It's just in a downtrend. If you're a PE watcher, you're probably saying a 219 PE is a little high for a stock like this. But then if you're a fundamental watcher, you say, oh my God, look at all the great things that they're doing. To me, those two offset and you don't do anything, right? AMD, this thing is now coming up the right side. This is strong. See the difference between this stock and the ones I just showed you? This one's got a rounded bottom. It's back over the 50. This one looks stronger. I'm not saying it's really strong. I'm saying it's stronger. It's still off its 266.96. It's nothing like, hitting an all-time high like it was a couple of months ago. But it may make a case pretty soon for being fairly strong. It's got a 91 relative strength. It's not so bad. Broadcom, 81 relative strength. You see the difference? It's all below its 50-day moving average. I always say not a lot of good stuff happens below the 50-day moving average, that red line. So I don't think you dip in and try to find the bottom on Broadcom. It just made a new low here. I don't know. Taiwan Semiconductor, this one's an interesting story. And that is, if what I think is going on is right, and I'm not sure I am, whatever, it's just a guess. That is that Trump is like, we're moving out of the Strait of Hormuz. Whoever wants to move oil through there, it's up to you guys. Well, China moves 60% of their oil through the Strait of Hormuz. So if China's got to go over there and be the policeman of the Strait of Hormuz, that means they're not going to come in and threaten Taiwan as much anymore, which they haven't really done anything anyway. And so if Taiwan is off the schneid of getting invaded by China, then it makes a stronger case for this stock. Plus, Nvidia gets their chips from Taiwan Semiconductor, and so do a lot of other places. So to me, if we can get a move above the 50-day moving average, and this 50-day moving average is moving up, then that shows that it may have some strength to it. Got a 91 relative strength anyway. So keep an eye on Taiwan Semiconductor because it's been kind of a sleeper here lately. Micron Technology, to me, we just had a debate about this in our mastermind group. To me, it needs some work to get up to the right side. It needs a few days or a couple of weeks for sure. This volume on the sell-off after earnings is not good. And that's what this is all going into, and that's going to be tough. SanDisk is different, though. This one looks really good to me. Wants to make a run up to its 777.60. If I'm reading it right, we'll see. Seagate, same thing. Looks like the same chart, doesn't it? A bounce off the 50-day moving average. Pretty healthy. I'd like to see more volume. Iron, I don't know. Everybody was telling me about how great this stock is, and it's only gone down from 76 to 50, or 30, 35, I mean. So it's gotten cut in at least half since everybody's been telling me to buy this. And I'm like, why do you buy this? I don't know if this is an AI financing data center kind of play. And I think the AI bubble is kind of here. I don't think we've seen it yet, but I think we're getting some weakness in AI. BYD is Tesla's competitor in China. They got Tesla, basically the same car for half the price in China. $13. This one has a nice, long, rounded cup that looks like it's taking shape here. This might be one to watch. Keep on your watch list. This is the nuclear play. It got up to like 193 or something like that. Now it's down to 50. It's not ready for buying yet, but I thought I'd throw it up there because sometimes people, tell you to buy these nuclear plays or whatever the play du jour is. And then you hold it and you're like, oh, it'll come back, it'll come back, it'll come back, it'll come back. And then pretty soon you're down 75%. Trust me, I've been through that. It sucks. Don't go through that. Uranium, you could see that, this is kind of an offshoot play from that. Bouncing off the 200. We'll see if it gets some volume to go up the other side. Solar Edge, breaking out. Right in the breakout area. If you want to look at a pretty strong stock in energy, it's in a weak sector, energy solar, but it's, coming up the right side of a cup formation. Silicon Labs is right at a breakout spot. Equinix is right at a breakout spot. So, we're in a yellow market. This is the time to prepare your watch lists. So I'm just giving you a couple of ideas of what's out there. Costco is a bit from a breakout spot, which is at 1028, but it's only at 1006. Could be a chance for early entry above this descending triangle line here, descending trend line, I should say. So if you like the Costco model, you can see that they grow at a fairly decent double-digit clip. Sales grows at 7%, earnings per share grows at 12. Not my favorite kind of growth, but steady. Anyway, I'll leave it at that because I know you probably don't care about the money thing. Come into Thursday thinking about Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going into holiday weekend. But thanks for joining me here. I hope you have a fantastic holiday weekend and appreciate you joining me here on the Market Pulse. I'll see you next week. Have a nice Easter.